Sophia Soder with the Nerds of Color, and it is such a pleasure to speak with both of you today. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, I've gotten to see the series and I just absolutely love it. So huge congrats.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
What was most important to you both when bringing this love story to life and working together on it?
I think, I mean, for especially with this story, the representation part of it was so important. And it was, we definitely really wanted it to be right. And what we love so much about the show is that their queerness is not what is like the point of conflict of the show. And instead it's accepted and even celebrated. Right. So that was definitely the most important part, I think, of the show.
I agree. And I think behind the scenes, outside of like our characters, I think it was just important that we supported each other and communicated with each other and heard each other through and made each other feel seen and respected. And just continue to pick each other's brains so that it could show and display that way on camera, because we genuinely care for each other in real life.
Totally.
Love that. And I love that you spoke about representation, because you just led me into my next question. It's something that always attracts me to a show when I see good representation, and the fans are seeing it from the trailer and they're so excited to watch the series. I love seeing the excitement and support. And I wanted to ask both of you, is there a takeaway you're hoping anyone that relates to these characters or this, love story, the core of it, what do you want them to take away from it?
I think I want them to take away that, we're all born into different like cultures and environments and spaces where certain things that ring true to you may not be accepted or may not be celebrated the same way. But I think it's important that you celebrate yourself and that you accept yourself and that you love yourself, even if you're in a room full of people that don't understand what you understand about yourself. As long as you move from a place of love and respect for yourself and others, it doesn't matter what anyone else has to say.
Yeah. And I certainly want audiences, particularly queer audiences, to be able to see themselves in this show and have that with them. I mean, I just think this is so special and unique, and there's really nothing like it out there. So I'm hoping people see pieces of themselves in this story.
Yeah. And I love the forbidden love romance trope.
Yeah, don't we all?
I got to play off of that for a second and ask, what are your personal favorite tropes to watch as a fan?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
I mean, I love the forbidden love story storyline. Oh my God, I don't know.
I think I love when it's like a story that starts off like we're enemies. I love when it's like sworn enemies that grow to love one another.
Like Killing Eve.
Yeah. I love those kind of stories where it's like you start off like supposedly hating each other, or even if it's like comedy or not, like they start off that way and then grow to love one another because they realize how much they ended up needing each other through that journey or needing the support of each other through that journey. I don't know. It feels like that's what feels like a story, when it starts one way, but it changes into something wonderful. Yeah.
Enemies to lovers. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And last question for both of you. What was the most interesting aspect acting wise for each of your characters to sort of delve into?
Acting wise,
I noticed for myself, sometimes like it's hard to. So Juliette, for example, is on the shy side. She's a little bit sensitive, softer. It's hard. I noticed it was hard for me to confidently play those types of play that type of role, because you're like, okay, but I can't come off as too confident, but I'm confident that I can do this. It was a little bit of a trip for me, honestly. But as I just had to kind of just stay true to the text and her and the character, and kind of let go of any preconceived notions I had about it or anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a little difficult seeing Calliope as such a strong, courageous character, and I love those kind of characters. To see that kind of waver, I think was a challenge for me, because I had seen her one way throughout this in the beginning of this story, but I had to accept that she changes and that she develops in ways that don't look the same as how she starts in the story, and that there are parts of her that shakes and that is still a teenage girl and is still trying to navigate through self. So I think it was channeling the parts of her that wasn't so solid or wasn't so sure of self that was a little bit of a challenge for me.
Yeah. Thank you both so much. I can't wait
Thank
for everyone to
you.
fall in
Thank you
love
so
with
much.
these strong female characters. Huge congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The activist directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The Hard Knock Life.